evening, this is STV, and now bringing you the latest stories from around Scotland. It's the STV News at 6 o'clock.
Tonight, returning home to Scotland. The body of the former First Minister Alex Salmond is flown home almost a week after his death in North Macedonia.
He is now back home in Scotland, the country that he led, and he has now been reunited with the people that he loved the most, his family.
Also making the headlines, a teenager admits causing the death of a bus driver in a brutal attack after being refused entry to his coach.
In sport, the Celtic and Rangers managers have hit out at a section of their own club's supporters who use pyrotechnics.
And the untold stories of Scotland's first girl bands. I'm Kellyanne Woodland in Edinburgh.
And I'm Emma Cameron in Glasgow. This is the STV News at 6. Good evening. Back on home soil, the body of former First Minister Alex Salmond returned to Scotland today, nearly a week after his sudden death. A private flight carrying his coffin touched down in Aberdeen this afternoon and was met by his family, friends and the lament of a lone piper.
Earlier, there'd been a minute's silence on the runway in North Macedonia where he died after speaking at a conference. The Alba leader was given a guard of honour before his final journey back home to Aberdeenshire. Our political reporter Laura Alderman reports.
Thousands of miles away in the North Macedonian city of Ohrid this morning, the body of former First Minister Alex Salmond, draped in a saltire, began its journey back home to the northeast. This is the last footage taken of Alex Salmond on Saturday afternoon. He was attending a political conference in the Balkan country when he suffered a heart attack and died. As the first ever First Minister to pass away overseas, there was no protocol on how to get his body home. Calls for the RAF and the Scottish Government to step in followed. But at the 11th hour, Scottish billionaire Sir Tom Hunter footed the bill, saying although he disagreed with Salmond politically, he deserved the dignity of a private flight. Almost a week after his death and following days of diplomatic discussions about how he would be repatriated to Scotland, a private plane containing the body of former First Minister Alex Salmond is now arriving at Aberdeen Airport, where he'll be reunited soon with friends and family. His wife Moira and loved ones watched on as the coffin was placed into a hearse and made its way out of the airport as a piper played.
Very poignant and sad to watch Alec returning to Scotland. No question that Alec was hugely admired, respected and loved by so many people in Scotland and outside of Scotland, and that has been reflected in the thousands of messages of condolence that the family have received, and it has been reflected in the genuine tributes that have been paid to Alec over the last week.
A band of pro-independence bikers led the cortege. Some supporters of Alex Salmond came to pay their respects.
Alex was one of a kind. We probably won't see someone like Alex in the next few centuries, let alone millennium.
I felt a wee bit emotional, but felt it was important to come just to pay respects to Alec and to show some support for his family today.
And yourself? And it kind of makes it real, doesn't it? It was a real shock when we heard that Alex had passed.
He meant so much to me, inspired me to get involved in the Yes campaign, and I just wanted to see him come back to Scotland.
His coffin now rests in Fraserburgh, while his family return to his home in Strichen, where they will hold a private funeral in the coming days. A more public memorial service will follow to remember a leader who was part of the political fabric for decades and brought Scotland the closest it's ever been to independence. Laura Alderman, STV News.
Now, he went to work and didn't come.